So, good afternoon and a very, very warm welcome to everyone joining us here as once again we bring you live action youth football in the preliminary round, Group D to be precise. All parts, of course, of the Under-19 DFB Nachwuchsliga, and what a fixture to look forward to today. It is Bayern Munich against VfB Stuttgart, two teams that know each other very well. This is the 34th meeting between the two sides at Under-19 level. Bayern Munich with 2 wins under their belts already. Fantastic start to their Group D campaign. Very convincing, yet to concede a goal, scoring a total of 8 goals in that period as well. As for Stuttgart, well, bit of a mixed bag for the visitors, a win and a loss for them. They'll be looking to bounce back and get their tally up to 6 points as well. Currently third in the Group D table. Bayern Munich leading the way after that strong and convincing start with back-to-back wins. However, history in terms of this fixture at Under-19 level leaning heavily towards the visitors. Stuttgart winning the last 6 meetings between these two. The last time Bayern Munich were able to beat VfB Stuttgart at Under-19 level was all the way back in 2020. A 3-1 home win. The reverse fixture ending in a 2-2 draw. So is revenge finally on the cards for Bayern Munich? Or will the trend continue? Of course, Stuttgart will want to do a lot better than they did last season in terms of the Under-19 Nachwuchsliga. Struggled in the early stages, never really made it through to the main round. Bayern Munich, of course, falling shorter than they would have liked as well in the last 16. Did end up losing to finalists Cologne by 4-0 back in May of this year. Cologne, of course, going on to play Hoffenheim in the final at the end of May. Hoffenheim 2-0 winners and German champions at Under-19 level last season. But Bayern Munich, should I say, showing that they mean business early into this season. 2 players to definitely keep an eye on. The young 17-year-old striker on screen there, Philipp von Taube, has 3 goals in all competitions already this season. Or 4 goals in all competitions this season, excuse me. Has scored in the DFB Pokal der Union as well, but has 3 in just 2 appearances in the league here in Group D. And just as impressive is the new arrival this summer, Mateo Maric, just 16 years old, the Austrian born in Linz. Joined from the RB Salzburg under-18s. He has 2 goals already as well. As for Stuttgart, well, they've got some impressive youngsters of their own. Albanian Enis Redzepi, their leading goal scorer so far this season, also has 3 goals in 2 appearances. And then the attacking midfielder, Malik Mosrati. He really has looked very exciting indeed. Pretty much everything that goes forward into that final third does go through him. So it will be interesting to see how he, also 16 years old, will perform here today. We do, of course, find ourselves in Munich, at the Bayern Munich campus, as it's called. Fantastic theatre, as they would say, for the story that is to unfold here on this midweek fixture Wednesday afternoon. Superb weather as well, nice temperature all the ingredients are required for a cracking game of football. And I'm sure it will be competitive, as it always is between these two. Speaking of revenge, the last meeting between Stuttgart and Bayern Munich, which was played in Stuttgart to be fair, ended 7-2 in favour of today's visitors. So an early chance to get a ball into the danger zone for Bayern. A long throw, headed away convincingly. Bayern able to hold on to possession, if only for a moment though. Able to win it straight back and have another throw. There is Malik Mosrati, one of those players mentioned in the build-up to kick-off. The Stuttgart number 10. Player who looks like he has a very, very bright future in the game. Early ball in towards the back post, punched away by Lennart Roland in between the sticks for Bayern Munich here this afternoon. And Seke will give chase, shielded out of play well though, in the end by Colin Schramm. Stuttgart coming into this off the back of a 3-2 home defeat against Ingolstadt. Ingolstadt not playing this round. The team given a break, of course, with 7 teams in the league. Every round there is one team that does have the chance for a breather. Bayern Munich awarded the free kick just inside the Stuttgart half. Mateo Maric brought down there. Free kick taken a little too quickly for this afternoon's referee, Jan Vogt, joined by his assistants, Luc Bastian Hannekam and Hermann Radatz. Back to the action, no, and that's a really good-looking ball in towards the near post. Perhaps a little too close to the keeper from Jakob Horvath. Great run to be picked out in a wide area. Good pace and power on the ball back inside, but just not quite enough of an angle on it. Another Bayern Munich free kick, this time won by Karandrikas. Konstantinos Karandrikas, another recent arrival, joined from Atromitos Athens under-17s. He's quite the physical presence, considering he's still just 17 years old. As mentioned, Bayern Munich, the team, definitely in form coming into this fixture. Fantastic 4-0 win away from home against Heilbronn. With Maric scoring 2, Von Taube scoring 1 as well, and Simon Schaff coming off the bench to make it 4. Early chance for Bayern Munich. I'm pretty sure Tom Waltz in goal got a touch on that, so it will be a corner. Aviel and Seke driving it hard and low, back across, looking for the far corner. A lovely through ball there from Kuba Horoschak. Great vision, lovely weight on the pass as well, and Seke does well to stay on side. Was perhaps going wide anyway. But Tom Waltz in goal, not willing to take any chances. Stuttgart now with another corner to defend. Not the best delivery, no real height or distance on that cross into the box. Bayern Munich will send it in once more. Same story again from their number 8, Osmani. Opportunity now perhaps in transition, but a wasteful ball is met by another, so the ball stays with Stuttgart. Maserati inside to their captain, Di Benedetto. But a heavy touch sees the ball back with Munich once more, who can break now down this right wing. Here is Horoschak. Horvath there in support, quickly closed down though. Well defended by Maserati. He doesn't mind getting back and helping out. Well, you really can see the confidence gained from those 2 wins so far for the home team. Bayern Munich have been the team on the front foot, have looked more dangerous, more composed on the ball, a little bit more direct in their play as well. Overall have looked more convincing in these opening stages. Nearly 10 minutes gone. Lovely ball over the top, and that's a great stop by Tom Waltz to deny Philipp Von Taube, the informed striker from Bayern Munich. Right decision to go hard and low, but an acute angle makes life a little easier for Tom Waltz in goal. Interesting to see Von Taube just have a look up there before he was able to take the shot on. Just checking if there was anyone in a better position inside the box to his left, which is not something you often see at under 19 level, of course. Youngsters so eager to impress. Very often you'll see them just go for goal themselves, try and take the headlines, make an impression. Von Taube with a very mature mindset there. Decision given Stuttgart's way for a handball initially, I believe, by Jakob Horvath there. Might have been a foul that followed as well, but I think the decision given for handball. Stuttgart still trying to find a bit of rhythm here. Haven't really had any extended periods of possession. Struggled to hold on to the ball when it has come their way. A lot of misplaced passes. Malik Maserati, their number 10, has probably looked the most lively or the most calm and composed on the ball. Apart from that, it's been all Bayern Munich here. 2 very decent opportunities already, and the Lions' share of possession. Nice build-up play from the back. Karandrikas looking for Von Tauber. Difficult one to control under pressure for the Bayern Munich number 9. As you can hear, there is a little bit of wind, even if the sun is shining brightly. A dead ball situation here for the visitors to try and take advantage of, which has been taken short. Opting not to send the ball into the box. A risky play there from Ali Aydin. The Stuttgart number 2 quite clearly had his arm around Aviel Nseke, who was breaking away and probably beating him for pace as well. Referee allowing the play to continue. I wonder if the offside flag might have been on its way up there. Not really dealt with by Felix Neuenhofer, but he gets away with it. Matosevic unable to keep the ball in play there. I have to say it's been an entertaining start to this game. Never ceases to amaze the level at such a young age from both of these teams. Of course, both Stuttgart and Bayern Munich with such fantastic youth academies and a rich history when it comes to developing young talent. Identifying it even earlier as well. Great through ball chance here to make it 1-0. But Mateo Maric scuffing the effort in the end. Didn't quite make the contact he was looking for. Great through ball there from Nseke as he was going to ground. And Mateo Maric going for placement rather than power. In the end, though, sends it straight down the middle and into the hands of Tom Waltz, who will have been more than grateful, I'm sure. Credit to Tom Waltz there for getting off his line early. Really good positional play there from the keeper. Recognised the threat nice and early, and then just gave Maric something to think about, which is all you can do in that situation as the shot stopper. And despite another chance for Bayern Munich just before that, perhaps a slight feeling of VfB Stuttgart starting to grow into the game at 0-0, of course. Still no damage done. And still anyone's game. Lennart Roelandt not taking any chances there. Puts his boot through it, sends it upfield. I'm not sure what decision was given there. Lennart Haas, the man in charge of Bayern Munich's number 9 teams, or number 19s, seems just as perplexed. Definitely didn't see a foul or a handball, to be fair. Stuttgart looking to create their first goal-scoring opportunity. Again, the attack breaks down, and again, breaks down very quickly. Here come Bayern Munich on the counter. Well defended. And Back the other way we go. Maserati. Redzepi. Back inside. Stuttgart looking for a free kick. Referee not impressed. Very open in the middle of the park at the moment, regardless of which direction the ball is travelling and which team is in possession. One player seeing a lot of the ball in this first half so far is Jakob Horvath, the right wing back for Bayern Munich. Very involved. Great ball inside. But sadly, Philipp von Taube at full stretch, unable to get any sort of touch on the ball there. Flag does go up for offside anyway. Looked like it was a close one. No real closing down there. Matosevic is able to just stride into the edge of the penalty area. Little dink towards the back post. Not enough distance though in the end from the Bayern Munich captain. And one thing you can usually expect from this fixture is goals. They haven't had any so far, but here's a 3-on-2 overload situation for Stuttgart. Can they take advantage of it? Lovely little dink inside and against the run of play. Stuttgart have the lead. And it's their leading goal scorer who adds another to his tally. Enis Redzepi, the Albanian, does just enough to help the ball into the back of the nets. Leonard Ruland, it looked like, got a touch on it, or at least something. And that will be very disappointing for Lennart Haas and his Bayern Munich side, who've been the better team so far, but now find themselves a goal down. Caught out at the back in transition. Bit of good fortune with the finish, but the little drop of the shoulder to cut back inside and lose the defender by Redzepi was absolutely superb. And as things stand, it looks like the trend of Stuttgart beating Bayern Munich at under-19 level is going to continue. Be interesting to see how Bayern Munich react to this now, as that will be a real punch to the gut after their start to proceedings. Those missed opportunities coming back to haunt them. Here's Redzepi in on goal again. Tries to cut inside again. Same trick not working second time round. And the home team need to be careful here. The goal has come as a bit of a shock to the system. Need to make sure they don't concede a second. Just before the goal was scored, we did say it was a game that always produces plenty of them. We have our first. Something tells me it won't be our last here this afternoon. Off the post. Another brilliant through ball. All of a sudden, the back line for Bayern Munich that looked so organised, like a well-oiled machine. It's sixes and sevens here. Little pockets of space that weren't there before, all of a sudden wide open. And it's an issue they need to address quickly, because how the tables have turned all of a sudden. In the blink of an eye, Bayern Munich looking nervous on the ball, nervous out of possession, unorganised. Stuttgart with a real spring in their step now. What an opportunity there just moments ago for Kian Speidel. Stuttgart number 9. Close, but no cigar. Still looking for his first goal of the season. Break is on again, and again it's a 3-on-2 here. And Zeppi unselfishly plays it out wide to teammate Nino Zezeli. I think the Stuttgart number 7 in that wide right area was hoping for the ball a little earlier, just put the brakes on his run there. Another poor delivery from a corner, this time for Stuttgart. And we have our first water break here. Midway through this first period of play. And what a roller coaster ride it's been. Bayern Munich with a very convincing start, continuing, picking up where they've left off basically. From their first 2 games of the season. Came into this game having not conceded a goal yet, scoring 8, 2-4-0 wins. Looking confident. And then out of nowhere, conceding the opening goal of the game. Here's another look at some of their early chances. Could have been a very different story in the first 15-20 minutes. First and second from one side, then Von Taube from the other. Tom Waltz called into action on both occasions, the more needed save perhaps to deny Von Taube. And then this breaking the deadlock. Enis Redzepi against the run of play. Stuttgart's first chance of the game. A forward very much in form. And 1 nearly became 2. Kian Speidel off the outside of the woodwork there. During a 4 or 5 minute spell where all of a sudden, and for no reason whatsoever, not one that you can really explain, Bayern Munich sort of falling apart defensively, structure-wise anyway. Lennart Haas probably quite happy about the water break there. Does give him a chance to get a few more instructions across to his young players and remind them of the things they did well in the opening stages. How important it is to get back to exactly what they were doing and avoid what then happened just before the water break as well. But it is definitely game on now. Slow start from Stuttgart, who look like a completely different team all of a sudden. One thing we can expect at under 19 level is plenty of changes. More often than not, teams taking full advantage of that. Of course, a few more changes, or substitutions to be more precise, allowed at under 19 level. It is of course the Nachwuchsliga. It's all about developing young players at their clubs. Therefore, more substitutions allowed, a total of 7, 6 of which outfield players. and one goalkeeper. 2 more than the usual 5 at senior level. Does give managers more options, and at the same time give young players more opportunity to get game time as well. Maserati, nice first touch there. Lays it off to his captain, Matosevich. Very crowded area in and around the Bayern box. Back heel to back heel! And what a goal from Stuttgart. And it's a second for Enis Redzepi. Superb header, textbook header. He is absolutely flying at the moment. Leonard Roland in goal with absolutely no chance whatsoever. Heads it down into the ground. But the build-up play leading to Redzepi's header was just as delightful as the goal itself. Do have to question Bayern Munich's defending there, though. Afrim Gashi and Konstantinos Karandrikas both having a go at each other, but allowing Redzepi to just stroll into a wide open area there. So much space to work with, so much time to guide his header exactly where he wanted to. Redzepi now with 5 goals in 3 appearances. And it's still early days here on match day 3 in Group D. Bayern Munich with a chance to peg one back, get themselves somewhat back into this. To say, fantastic last-ditch defending there from Luca Beret. He's able to just toe poke it away from Von Taube. Bayern with a corner. That was an opportunity for a shot on goal there. Header goes just up and over. I'm surprised Jakob Horvath didn't take a touch there and maybe have a crack at goal himself. Whole right side of it was completely open, with the majority of players sort of making their way towards the back post area. Having said that, the ball in towards the back post was then a good one, and the header not missing by much. Less than quarter of an hour still to go in this first half. A half that looked so promising for Bayern Munich. Now they find themselves in real trouble. Need to make sure they don't concede another before the break and see the game out of reach with another 45 still to go. Great tackle by Felix Neunhofer. Again, it's just too easy for Stuttgart in that final third. It's a wasted opportunity that time. But the initial ball into the final third, into those danger zones. It's just far too simple at the moment. Definitely an area of concern for Lennart Haas. His counterpart Tobias Radgeb will be absolutely delighted with what he's seen so far. Perhaps not with the opening 5-10 minutes. Since scoring, Stuttgart have looked really, really exciting. A difficult one to head back across there for Kuba Horoszczak. Amazing what a goal can do. Stuttgart knocking the ball around with such confidence. Now, get the feeling that they feel they can break through that back line every time they come forward. Wonderful spread of play. Here's Nseke. Went down perhaps a little too easily there, and he stayed on his feet. Might have been able to still make something happen. Pocket picked and a chance here for Stuttgart to make it 3. It's a cross, chance for the hat-trick. Little dink over the top, and that is a forward with confidence running through his veins. A first-half hat-trick for Enis Redzepi, and his third goal, the pick of the bunch. Massimo Di Benedetto, the captain, just waiting, trying to draw the defender his way to create the space for his striker. And then the weight on the pass from the captain, absolutely spot on. And then what a finish from Enis Redzepi. A cheeky little dink over Lennart Roeland. Absolutely nothing the keeper or Afrin Gashi at the back can do about it. That is a sublime finish. Confident first touch. And then an even more confident second to lift it over the Bayern Munich #1. After the first 10 minutes of play, I don't think anyone would have believed you if you'd said Stuttgart would be 3 goals up with 10 minutes still to go. Long-range effort blocked. Here's Redzepi. Again, has time to control the ball, turn. So much space available in and around the halfway line and then inside the Bayern half. Malik Mosrati decides to put the brakes on it, slow things down. Of course, with a 3-goal cushion, Stuttgart under no pressure to keep powering forward now. easily just sit back and sort of ask Bayern Munich the question whether or not they can get themselves back into this now. Giving themselves the best possible foundation to head into the second 45. Body language from the Bayern Munich youngsters also very telling. There's a chest out and heads high in the opening stages. Those heads have now dropped significantly after conceding 3 quick goals. Each one better than the one before. From a Stuttgart perspective anyway. Not so much from a Bayern Munich perspective. Take nothing away from the finish for the third, or the pass to pick out the goal scorer. And it was a lapse in concentration for a moment that allowed Stuttgart to win the ball back inside the Bayern Munich half and then take full advantage of it. Understanding between the two central defenders hasn't quite been there either. Gashi and Karandrikas not always on the same page. Of course, Karandrikas a new arrival, so it is a partnership. It is still in its early days. Nice little flick on there by Redzepi. There's Maserati. Now Speidel. Again, so easy to just make his way into the penalty area there, cause problems. No surprise to see Enis Redzepi making a darting run towards the near post, looking for his 4th of the game. His and Stuttgart's was the intended target. Much better looking delivery that time. Ball into the middle, off the crossbar. Danger not over yet though. Great save second time round by Roeland. And Bayern Munich really are hanging on at the moment. Here comes Stuttgart again. And again it's an overload situation. Where are the bodies at the back for Bayern Munich here? And it is 4. Not just for Stuttgart, but for Enis Redzepi. And have the visitors wrap things up before half-time at 4-0. You'd have to think so. A strong start has absolutely gone to pieces for Bayern Munich. And it's just far too easy. I have to say. handful of Bayern Munich players just jogging back when quite clearly they were in real danger. And that is something that definitely will not please Lennart Haas. We did say goals expected between these two. Not sure we expected all four of them to come from one team in the first half. Well-timed tackle by Inseke. Javier Inseke has been one of the positives for Bayern Munich, even if there haven't been many in this first period of play. Free kick taken quickly. Zeppi's having an absolute field day out there. Very rarely being picked up, just strolling into those pockets of space in between defenders. The distance between defenders just seems far too great from Bayern Munich. More than happy to power forward, send players upfield, but it's a lack of tracking back in transition that has caused them so many problems. 4 big ones to be precise. 45 minutes are done and dusted as we head into stoppage time. Can't imagine there'll be too much added on here. Is there time for a 5th for Stuttgart? Should be easy to deal with. Morafim Gashi. Jack. Good run on the underlap there from Jakob Horvath, but again, the delivery too close to Tom Waltz in goal. Through ball with just a little too much mustard on it for Mateo Maric to control. half-time whistle. Now just moments away. What a first 45 it's been for Tobias Radgeb and his youngsters from Stuttgart. It is going to take something very special indeed in the second period of play from Lennart Haas's Bayern Munich under-19s. They've given themselves a mountain to climb. Take nothing away from Stuttgart and their attacking play, which might come into play once more before the break here. Again, a lot of space to work with. Can their number 9 get on the score sheet as well? Kian Speidel, not quite as fortunate as his teammate Enis Redzepi so far. So 4 minutes added on, 4 minutes done and dusted. And that is all she wrote for the first 45, plus some change. A very, very promising start from Bayern Munich until the opening goal, where things completely shifted, and how they shifted as well. Enis Redzepi with 4 first-half goals has put Stuttgart in a fantastic position. One that Bayern Munich might just struggle to recover from. An interesting second half ahead, but job done in the first for the visitors and then some. Make sure you join us for that second 45 in just a few. So, what a first 45 here in Munich between Bayern Munich and VfB Stuttgart, the visitors, who looked slow in the opening stages. Looked like it could perhaps be a long afternoon for Stuttgart, but then how they turned the tide, and then some. 4 goals in the first 45, all 4 scored by Enis Redzepi. And what a job Bayern Munich have now in this second period of play. Looks like they're going to make a fair few changes. No surprises there. Zareya, Drame and Yumbisi Kenmoe all coming on. Or excuse me, getting the names wrong there. Mumuni, Snip and Imade. The players coming on. The 3 mentioned before, still on the bench for Stuttgart. So, second 45, up and running. Stuttgart playing from left to right in this second period of play. On the attack straight away. Mumuni with the header clear. Ball stays with the visitors though. Would be a spectacular comeback if Bayern Munich can try and salvage something here. Seems like an almost impossible task, 4-0 down, but crazier things have happened. Can surely not concede a 5th though. I think that will be the first task at hand. Is to stop leaking goals and then work from there. Imade goes down looking for a free kick. Dispossessed fairly in the end. A player down here for Bayern Munich. It is their number 7, Kuba Horoszczak. Seems he's got a problem with his left ankle here. So 3 half-time substitutions might become 4 second-half substitutions. Doesn't go down as the result of any coming together in those pictures. Might have happened just moments before though. So a drop ball here to resume play. As already mentioned, coming into this game, Bayern Munich scoring a total of 8, 2 4-0 wins without conceding a single goal. They've now conceded 4 in just one half of football here on Matchday 3 in Group D of the DFB Under-19 Nachwuchsliga. There's still the preliminary rounds. The main round and championship round still to come. Both of these teams will still hope to be a part of. A win today for Stuttgart. We'll see them match Bayern Munich's 6-point tally. Ingolstadt on 6 points as well, with a perfect start to the new campaign. Ingolstadt not playing here in, or on match day 3, should I say. But will face Bayern Munich on Matchday 4 on Sunday the 23rd. Very nearly a 5th goal for VfB there. Vicious strike there from the Stuttgart number 5. Luca Berretz had the keeper beat. The woodwork there to deny him. And it comes crashing off the crossbar. Nearly snuck in and is eventually at the near post. And surprise, surprise, it's Enis Redzepi with goal number 5. Looked like his teammate had done the business just moments before. Somehow kept out by Leonard Ruland in goal. Ruland and Bayern Munich simply do not have an answer for Redzepi this afternoon. It is Ruland. He does well at his near post, can do nothing about the follow-up though. Things go from bad to worse for Bayern Munich and just keep on getting better for VfB Stuttgart. Stuttgart's biggest win over Bayern Munich in recent times was the last meeting between the two. 7-2 victory at home. Away from home, 4-1. Their biggest win since 2019. It looks like they're about to smash that here today though. Worst possible start to the second half for Bayern Munich though. I'm sure the message in the changing rooms at half-time would have been, let's try and win the second period of play, keep a clean sheet. A bit more of a scrappy goal that time round. I don't think you can blame the back line too much for it. Could have perhaps done more to try and clear their lines a little more convincingly. I don't think you can put any blame on Ruland in goal there though. Right idea. Just lacked the execution with the final ball, but the build-up. Again, some lovely one-touch football, just carving their way through ever so easily. Misplaced pass, keeps the pressure on. Has been a real struggle for Afram Gashi at the back, alongside Karandrikas in the first half. Now as Mamuni as his partner in crime at the back. Maric had the simple option in the form of Skender Nuray. Decide to make it more complicated with the ball inside. job. A little too much to do there with the ball over the top. Lovely first touch and turn from Kian Speidel. Spreads it out wide. Will be a free kick. Heavy touch and then the foul from Stuttgart captain Massimo Di Benedetto. Now Stuttgart will make changes, as will Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich sending on Eljar, Afanu and Schaf, while Zarela Drame and Yumbisi Kenmoe now do come on for Stuttgart. Stuttgart able to rest some of their more go-to players with that 5-goal cushion in complete control now. As for Bayern Munich, I think it's at this stage now, having conceded that 5th, just about getting minutes on the pitch for some of their fringe players. On the flip side, for the players coming on, it is an opportunity to try and impress and perhaps break into the starting 11 for that game against Ingolstadt on the 23rd, 4 days away. One thing that will be expected from whoever's out on the pitch against Ingolstadt is a reaction to today's performance. Offside flag up. Chris Afanu in on goal there from an offside position. Solid tackle to win the ball back from Chris Afanu there. Nice little cushioned header on there from Afanu. Has looked lively since coming on. Von Taube in on goal now, but he too setting off a little too early as the flag goes up once more. I'm not sure Chris Afanu was in an offside position that time. Lovely turn by Afanu. Ends up with a corner. Well, Tom Waltz wasn't too sure where the ball ended up, having made the stop at his near post. What a difference Chris Afanu has made here for Bayern Munich. Yes, Stuttgart perhaps taking their foot off the pedal a little with that 5-goal lead. All Bayern can do is try and make up for it somewhat in this last half hour, especially the players that have come on. Opportunity here for Stuttgart. Ball into the middle. Not a convincing one in the end though from Mohamed Drame. Long range efforts. Calls the Stuttgart keeper into action. Tom Boltz all of a sudden with work to do here, since those many substitutions made by Bayern Munich and Lennart Haas. He's had more to do in the opening 15 minutes of the second period of play than he did in the entirety of the first half. Still, no goals for the home team. Ken Moet does well. Space out wide again, and the ball inside was only ever heading to one young man. Enis Redzepi does really know how to get himself into goal-scoring positions, pointing where he wants it. Credits to Mumuni for getting back and getting the interception in there. Malik Mozrati standing over the ball here. Sends one to the back post. Back with Mozrati again. A confident attempt there from Enis Redzepi, an acrobatic one as well. Looking for the overhead scissor kick finish. Able to make contact, can't guide it towards goal though. Was a difficult one, especially on the left foot. That is a young player who really believes in himself at the moment, and rightfully so. Why wouldn't you? 5 goals in one game. I think the flag stayed down that time. Von Taubert times his run well. Just a little too much distance on the passes in his direction. Handball by Ali Aydin. Gives by Bayern Munich a free kick inside the Stuttgart half. A little over 25 minutes still to go. Good movements by Wisdom Imade there to create the space out wide for a cross into the middle. Final ball. Not quite as impressive though. Can mow it in towards Redzepi again. Even when he's even when he misses, it's not by much. Pass picked off by Imade. Lines up the shots. Perhaps took just a little too long. And how about that for a finish from Chris Afanu? Has been the most impressive player to come on for Bayern Munich in this second half. And what a strike to peg one back for his side. Pace and power, the name of the game with that finish from Chris Afanu. Drills it into the top corner. And even though Tom Bartz gets a touch on it, cannot keep that absolute rocket out. Afanu finally gives the home fans here something to shout about. What an introduction he's made. Can Bayern build on it though? That is the question. Little dink inside. Talbot tries to chest it down. Afanu gives it away cheaply. So time for our second water break. And a chance to reflect on the first half of the second period of play. Another goal, a fifth for Enis Redzepi. Here's another look at that goal. Probably the scrappiest one of the bunch. But a fifth nonetheless for Stuttgart's number 11. In doing so, taking his tally for the season early into the season to 7 already. And then finally a reply from Bayern Munich He comes off the bench in the form of Chris Afanu. What a goal as well. Too little, too late perhaps, but still a sign of life from Bayern Munich on what has been a very disappointing afternoon here on match day 3 in Group D of the DFB Under-19 Nachwuchsliga. So 20 minutes plus stoppage time still to go here at the FC Bayern campus. What do these youngsters have in store for us in these closing stages? I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more goals at either end, to be fair. Bayern Munich with some fresh legs, some fresh ideas, able to peg one back. Stuttgart still looking dangerous, going forward with the young man of the match, Enis Redzepi, still out on the pitch, now wearing the captain's armband. Afanu forced to go back under pressure. Wisdom Imade muscles his way past the one challenge. Can't score though. Somehow kept out by Tom Waltz there. Imade does ever so well, and then drills it hard and low straight down the middle. Tom Waltz able to get down quickly enough, nearly went through his legs there, catches him on the backside and goes just wide. If Imade puts that either side of Tom Waltz there, it might be a second for Bayern Munich. Easier said than done, of course. Dead ball situation here for Bayern, and a chance to swing one into the box. Struggled from open play. Dead ball situations like this one, perhaps their best ticket back into things, albeit they don't have much time left. Comeback more and more unlikely as the clock ticks down. I think it's safe to say job done for Stuttgart. One could argue it was job done at half-time. Once they scored a fifth, well, Good upper body strength by Red Zeppi. Somehow holds on to the ball there. Sliced effort and a switch of play in the end from Malik Musrati. It's been quiet in the second half. They're number 10. Chris Afanu does well to win the throw. And more changes incoming, one would think, from Stuttgart here. Bayern Munich already making 6. Brenner, Reichert and Kirill Serdyuk. The 3 players now coming on to finish the game for the visitors. That spells the end of the afternoon for this afternoon's standout performer, Enis Redzepi. Sure, he wanted to stay on and try and keep scoring, add to his season tally, but I think 5 will do. Tobias Rakip will be very pleased with his number 11. What a performance from Enis Redzepi. Mohamed Drame picking up a yellow card for a heavy challenge there. So just a reminder, Bayern Munich in action again on Sunday at home against Ingolstadt. Both teams on 6 points. Ingolstadt with a break in round 3 of Group D. So we'll, in theory, come into the game very fresh. Bayern Munich will head into that one desperate to turn things around as quickly as possible after the disappointing afternoon here today. As for Stuttgart, they remain on the road, take on Unterhaching. Also on Sunday, their kick-off an hour later. Bayern Munich kicking off at 11 AM Central European time. Stuttgart at 12. A match day that could see Bayern Munich drop to 3rd, having come into match day 3 in first. Should they lose to Ingolstadt and Stuttgart pick up another 3 points, we'll see both Ingolstadt and Stuttgart at the top on 9. The other fixture on match day 4, Heilbronn Freiberg against Regensburg 1860 Munich. The Bayern rivals, the team given a break. Two very different sets of 11 up against each other now in these closing stages. Very much the norm at under 19 level, with development of young players the main focus for all teams involved, to see sides take full advantage of the amount of substitutions allowed to be made. Total of 6 outfield players plus a goalkeeper, so 7 in total. Both Bayern Munich and Stuttgart making all 6 in terms of outfield players. Bayern Munich's coming a little earlier, as expected. But it looks like that trend will continue, and it will be 8 wins in a row for Stuttgart against Bayern. We'll meet again in Stuttgart, of course, where Bayern will have a chance to put an end to the rot, if you like. But they'll have to wait for their revenge, because it doesn't look like it'll be coming their way today. 9 minutes left of the 90. Probably another 3 or 4 added on at the end. A scramble inside the Stuttgart penalty area. Danger not dealt with. Chance for another, perhaps. Bayern players getting in each other's way there. Breaking down in the end. A real opportunity to score a second. Still everything to play for, regardless of the outcome here today for, well, Stuttgart, of course, but Bayern Munich especially. Total of 24 teams make it through to the next round, known as the Meisterrunde. First and second place teams automatically through, and the best the 8 best third place teams from 9 groups joining them in that Meisterrunde as well. The rest go through to what's known as the main rounds, which will also include 11 teams the second best divisions. Total of 58 teams involved in the Nachwuchsliga under 19 level, which does also include 11 teams that don't have youth development programs. Overall has been a really entertaining start to the under-19 season here in Germany. Average of just over 4 goals a game throughout. Very, very competitive games already. Some real swings in terms of momentum. This afternoon, a prime example of that. Looked like we might be heading in one direction, and then in the blink of an eye, heading in the complete opposite. Do Bayern Munich still have something to contribute here? The decision goes against them there. Zerame is slow to get back up on his feet. Crashed into by Adam El-Char there. Right, coming together. So just over 3 minutes of the 90 left. What does this encounter still have in store for us? Bayern Munich with a player down now. It's Chris Afanu, the goal scorer. Seems to have taken a knock to the right knee, either that or perhaps a bit of dead leg. I think he does take a knee to the right thigh there. More of a shock to the system rather than anything too serious. Looks like he'll be alright to continue, which is good news for everyone involved. No surprise, really, to see a much quieter and relaxed, should we say, performance from Stuttgart in the second 45. All the damage done in the first period of play. Chris Afanu still waiting to come on, so Bayern Munich down to 10. is, of course, the new rule. If a player does stay down and receive treatment, does have to spend an entire minute off the field of play before he can come back on. All in an attempt, of course, to try and speed up the game, avoid long stops in play, and also avoid players staying down when they perhaps don't necessarily need to. Time wasting, of course, coming into that as well. Not sure it's 5-1 down, that quite applies here. Can't find a way past that time, Chris Afanu, but does seem to be moving well. Into stoppage time, 4 minutes added on here. Ali Aydin to the back post, and a header to make it 6, and a very, very convincing header as well. Kirill Serdyuk, a second half substitute, gets his name on the score sheet as well, and makes sure that it's not just Enis Redzepi who gets all the plaudits. Well, we talked about taking your opportunity off the bench, and Serdyuk has done just that. Towering header at the back post, back across the face of goal as well, into the far corner. Textbook stuff from the substitute. Wants the ball, attacks it in the air, and makes it 6-1 here in stoppage time. So not losing the second half as well has not quite come into fruition for Leonard Haas's Bayern Munich. Decent play again on that wide right by Chris Afanu. His performance, one of the few things to be pleased about for Leonard Haas and Bayern Munich. Break is on in transition here for VfB. Right there, yes, still score a 7th as well. Decent effort there. And Leonard Roland able to get both hands behind that one. Final minutes of stoppage time, counting down here in the Bayern Munich campus. Tom Valtz takes one to the face there from close range as well. Does get back up very quickly indeed. Takes one for the team there. So the last kick of the game will be a Bayern Munich corner into the hands of Tom Valtz, and that will wrap things up. What a performance, a convincing 6-1 win for VfB Stuttgart away from home against Bayern Munich, handing the league leaders, or the table toppers, before kick-off their first defeat of the new season. Their first goals conceded, a total of 6. 4 of those coming in the first half, 5 of those coming from the young man of the match, Enis Redzepi. What a performance from Stuttgart's number 11 as they bounce back from defeat in style and take their tally to 6 to join Bayern Munich and Ingolstadt on that number. Thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We'll leave you with some of the highlights, plenty of goals to enjoy in slow motion. And congratulations to VfB Stuttgart on a stellar performance here on match day 3 in Group D, the preliminary round of the DFB Under-19 Nachwuchsliga. We'll see you next time. Until then, and as always, stay safe and take care.